Hi, I'm Nicole Poole. I'm a project commercial manager. I work with VolkerRail specialist businesses, but I've been with VolkerRail for 8 years now. Initially started in major projects back in 2018 and transitioned to VRSB about 8 months ago now. So when I first joined the business, I sort of was an assistant on a number of jobs in the Panel South framework portfolio. So I helped with Cannock, West Ruislip, Princes Risborough. But the first sort of solo project I undertook as an assistant QS was the Bromsgrove Additional Works. So this was a bolt-on project to the Bromsgrove electrification works that VolkerRail had delivered with Siemens, and these were the follow-on works that were required after successful completion of that scheme. And what that project entailed was the closure of an existing level crossing and construction of a new footbridge in the Barnt Green Cofton area. I think following on from the scheme, you were seeing traffic of about 300 trains per day on that line, some of which were 90 miles an hour on a curve. So the level crossing wasn't particularly safe. It was quite a rural area through farmland, but it was quite a large walkers area. Obviously the route through that area had been electrified by VolkerRail as part of the previous project. So we also needed to do some parapet extensions on bridges in the vicinity just to make sure they were safe and compliant, and we also did some works in some of the relay rooms. So as a sort of first project, I absolutely relished the opportunity to sort of really see it through from start to finish of the project. I think it's so important for QSs to have something that they take ownership of from the very beginning and see the sort of setup of a contract all the way through to the final account stage. I think in terms of understanding the life cycle of what we as QSs need to do when administering a contract, that was really important. So it wasn't just me joining a project midway through and tackling the sort of issues you were already encountering. I had that opportunity to put the job into a good position from day one and see it through to a successful completion and successful delivery. So it was my first time ever on a construction site, the Bromsgrove job, and actually what we did is we had me SAC trained. So with a lot of our works being on a Saturday night, it meant that I would go to site, ensure that everyone was sort of inducted in, assisting in checking competencies, making sure everyone had the right PPE. But because it was very much a fixed start and finish time for the shift, and you didn't have multiple teams coming in throughout the evening, it allowed me then, once the sort of initial SAC duties had been completed, to walk up to the site, had my PTS, and actually really see what we were doing. I think you get to a point in any contract that you're working on in commercial, and so much of the day job is in the office, spreadsheets, numbers, that actually when you see the end delivery of what you're doing it for, and they obviously had this unveiling of the footbridge, and you had local community walking groups straight away organising walks to use it. You knew that you weren't just building a bridge over a railway line, you were doing something that would impact people in communities that they could use, enjoy and be safer. Sort of biggest sort of takeaway, and what was successful for me personally, was just how much I learnt. Seeing the process of administering a contract from day one award through to final account, as a young QS just started in the industry, was just so invaluable. I learnt so much. I think you always learn more from the jobs that maybe aren't smooth sailing and don't go perfectly. And yeah, I think for me it was just a really good starter project that gave me a lot of confidence in terms of understanding the contracts, understanding how everything worked. And yeah, I think that was the biggest takeaway.